Hello, this is Rob from Rims Models. This is my 11th update of this beautiful kit by RYEFIELD with the cutaway parts and full interior. Before we start, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. All your comments, really do appreciate it. So what we're going to do in this update is totally finish the interior now, the lower hull. So the turret's already done, so we're just going to finish off now the interior now, the lower hull. So all I'm doing is just primering with my MIG Ammo black one-shot primer. Really nice primer, slightly thinned. I'd say probably about 50-50. Now what I'm doing now, I don't fit the photo etch yet. I'm just showing, what I'm showing you there is I'm going to primer it first and then fit the photo etch. It just makes it, just in case you can see the plastic showing through. And then all I've got to do then, when I come to paint the outside, is just paint over the photo etch and not have to worry about getting it all in these gaps and that. You see, all I'm doing, just rotating it around, getting it from every angle, just making sure there's no plastic showing through. Okay, so I'm not priming the outside yet, I'm just doing these bits here. Okay, just, I'd say on about 20 psi with a 0.2 needle. Again, just keep turning it around, making sure all the plastic's covered. Also, off camera, where the periscopes are, I've just used some masking fluid just to mask them off. Right, now this here now, I'm going to do a bit of pre-shading now. And basically all you're doing is just in the middles. So you're doing like a highlight. And just keep the edges the dark. So when you spray over the top, you got a bit of a variation, so it's not all the same colour. But to be honest with you, you're not going to see this anyway, because when it's together, you can only see the bottom half of the lower hull. But what I'm doing, I'm going to leave this loose. I'm not going to glue it in position, so I can actually lift it off, and you can show all the detail off then inside. There's two colours on this. You got the XF18, which is the back and the front bit, and then the rest of it's the off-white. So all I'm doing is just doing some highlights. Okay. And that's all you do. Do that on all your parts. All I'm doing is just picking all the highlights, and keeping the edges and that in the dark. Okay, so that's it. Right there, now I've done them all. All the parts are done. with the black primer and then the highlight colour. This is not all the interior parts here, there's lots more to do yet. Right, rather than me showing you spraying all the parts, I'll spray them off camera and I'll show you what I've done. So the rest of that then will be the spray of the off-white. That's the radios. There's few other bits of paint on the radios yet. Right, so now it is the XF53. And then I should brush paint the actual leather bits on the seat. They're the two batteries as well. There's a bit of detail painting to do on them as well. There's a decal to put on that. I'll do all that off camera. Okay. They're all Tamiya paints I've been using. As you see, this it's still a little bit wet. I've only just sprayed them. Right, this is dark iron, which is the XF84. Just again, there's a couple of little bits to paintbrush. Right, and now the actual torsion bars they are the rubber black, Tamiya rubber black, which is, I think it's XF85. Yes, XF85, yeah. And all I'm doing is just gluing the one end, a little bit of super glue, just to hold it in position. Now there's two different sorts. You got your front and your back one, the ones type, and then the ones in the middle. I think it's 5 in the middle. And there's little pins on. So if you want to have it as the working suspension, you cut them off, or if you leave them on, it'll be fixed in position. But I've gone for the fixed position because I'm not going to be putting this on no diorama or nothing, so it doesn't matter too much. Right, so just push them in and then just twist them until you feel them clicking. But when they're all in position and I've got the wheels on, I'll now, once all the wheels are touching the floor, I'll glue them into position properly. That's all the torsion bars fitted now. But note the face forward on one side and then the face back on the other side. Right, so we're still gluing parts on, and what I did, I painted the XF18 first, and then I masked it off, and then I painted the white. Again, a bit of super glue just to hold it in position. There's no need to use extra thing because once it's in, it ain't moving. And all it is, just me normal glue from the pound shop. You've just got to be a bit quicker than, because it does dry quite quick. So then bits of the XF64, and then you've got the cover that goes over the top of that then, so you're not really going to see that much of it. Okay. Now on this piece I'm fitting now, there's a bit of photo etch on. Now there are ejector pin marks on the inside, but I won't worry too much because you ain't going to see them. So I just dry fitted, because we've painted it. I just wanted to make sure the pieces still fit alright. Right, so as you can see, the fit's beautiful. Right, now them bits I fitted unpainted, but I'll try to paint them when it's with the paintbrush. Once it's in position, I just thought it would have been easier to paint them, brush paint them, and trying to spray them. But there's a sequence you've got to do this, so you can't fit none of these and then paint them in position, because you need to get your torsion bars in. Well, you got 3 shells that sit on that. So I'm just showing you there, it's unpainted. There's 2 of them, one each side. So we're still gluing parts in. These are the batteries now fitting. There's 4 little photo etch parts that you bend over, and then the batteries sit on top of them then. Again, make sure you go them the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way. There's like the wider part goes to the front. So if you just look at your instructions and he tells you, then you can't go wrong. And all I've done is sprayed it the XF54, and then I've just touched it then with some black on the terminals, and then I shall give them all a wash and that, just to give it a dirty, grimy look. They are a little bit fiddly to fit. Well, you can see it's, once you've got them located, it just fits straight in. As you can see, that one is a little bit twisted, but I do straighten it up off camera. So that there, I've painted the seats, and it's the Vallejo model colour, which is red leather, and it's the 7818. And all I do then is paint that, and then I should just do some washes over the top then, just to give them a dirty look. But there's no weathering been done yet. Again, super glued in, because it's sitting on top of photo etch. You have to super glue it. Right, now this is where we start the weathering, and all it is a filter. It's raw umber, finned with the odourless thinner, the Big Ammo odourless thinner. You can paintbrush it, but I just prefer to airbrush it, and it's really thin. You haven't got to do it. It's not a wash or nothing. It's just a filter, and it just gives it a dirty look. And then when you watch now, when I spray the white, you can actually, it stands out a bit more, because it's a bit hard to tell on this colour. See how it changes the colour now, look. And all it is a light coat. You're not flooding it. And just work it around. Just keep moving your part, making sure it's all covered. Okay, so that's all you do. And then to speed things up, I've got an air dryer, and I just whack it with the air dryer, and then I'll get another coat then. So all them have been done. That there is all my parts I need for the interior. I've done the same there. That's had the same filter. There's nothing else been done yet. Well, that's it dry. I'm just showing you it dried there. Right, now we're going to do some dry brushing. And all it is the big steel. And then just load your brush up. Bit of kitchen towel and get the excess off. But have a practice on a part you're not going to see, or the underneath, something where you can't see it. So if you've got too much on, then you can get more of it off. But all it is just doing the edges, lightly brushing it. It makes all the detail pop out. That there is the XF54, and then the off-white on the top. And then all I've done then is you got my big rust set and rusted the exhausts, which are a really detailed engine. So I just keep going all over your parts, just lightly dusting it. And it's a really nice effect. I really like dry brushing. It gives it a really nice worn look. As you can see. Right, so we're doing the same here. I'm only going to do, that's there, it brings that checker plate detail out really nice. At the moment you can't really see it, but when you do this dry brushing, it really stands out. You'll see in a sec. I'll hold it up and you can see it. But all you're doing is visualising where the wear will be. Right there, that's where the turret will spin round on that. We can see there, look. You can see the dry brushing there. But that's got to have washes and that yet. Right now, this is a ping wash I'm doing now. And what this is Starship Filth. Again, thinned with odourless thinner. There's no glossing been done. This is going straight on top of the paint. And just put it on, let it dry, and then you can clean it off. The fire extinguishers there are done with the XF7, which is the red. And then you got the off-white at the side, you can see now, and then on the back of it is the XF18. And all this is doing is just making the parts pop out. You can see everything now coming alive. All them little rivets and bolt heads and that really stand out. Well, there's loads you can do. I'll do streaking on it. You know, you got your pigments, chipping. So just pick all the detail up. Again, I'll just blast it with the air dryer. And I go around all my parts like this. What you need, I don't know what the ratio is of the ping wash, but you need to do it so when you touch the part, it just capillaries around on its own. You'll know when it's right. So there, I'm showing you now the shells are done, and all they are is the gold leaf Tamiya, which is the XF12, and then the ends are just, I'll mask the ends off the brass off, and the ends are painted the XF85. And all I do then is just fit them, and then I'll just super glue the tops on. That's basically finished. And I done then, I got a dark tracks wash, the MIG dark tracks, and I've just done like a wash over the top of them, lay it dry, and then just lightly brush it off. Right, so that's everything there that is dry fitted at the moment. The centerpiece with the shells and the two other storage racks are dry fitted. Alright, now we're going to do streaking now. These, if you've never tried these oil brushes, you should really give them a try. They're ready to use. Just open them up, put them in a pallet like I've done, and they're ready to go. They have got brushes on them, but I think the brushes are a little thick. So all I do is done what I've done there. Just put a few out, and then get your brush. Lay it dry, and then you'll just run it down. I'll show you. Just get your brush in and streak it. And I'll put a mixture on of the 4 colours. So off camera, I've got another a kitchen towel again, and a little tub of thinners, odourless thinners. And you just slightly dampen your brush, get the excess off. Okay, so I've just sorted my brush out. So that's the odourless thinner I use. And then I've got one of these, they're like wide paint brushes, but they've got bits cut out. It's like a fan, like a thing. It's specially made for streaking. And all you do is just run it down, and then you leave on as much as you want, or take off, depending on the effect you want. And make sure you go in a downwards motion with the streaking. It's just another weathering step. I mean, you don't have to do this, but I like the effect you get. And I do it more in the engine, where the engine part is. Especially because you got the fuel and the oil and that. Again, you just get your hairdryer, just dry it. So there you can see the effect. I don't know if you can make that out. Well, that's the effect you're after. Done it again. I've used the 4 colours again. Let it dry, and then do it exactly the same. I'll do this on all the vertical surfaces. But you don't want your brush flooded with thinners. And I just every so often just keep cleaning your brush as well. So I've just cleaned it off, put some fresh thinners on, and just keep pulling it down. I mean, you can do as many colours as you want. You can just have 1 colour, or I've gone for 4. You can do as many as you want, and then you can do I'll do a couple of rust streaks as well, exactly the same. Let this dry overnight, and then I come back then and I don't get too mad with the the rust, because it really stands out. Okay, so just keep again, just making sure you're streaking it down. Right, now this is a set I've had for quite a while now, and you've got 3 colours in it. You've got the this one here is the fuel spills. So all I've done, I'm going to do like a little ping wash out of it, and just dab it into all the recesses and where all the pipes are, all the cables, all the corners and the edges. Again, it's just another little weathering step, but I only do here where the engine actually is. Can you see it when the engine's in? Not really, but I know it's there. Again, you can streak this, put it on and streak it down. I actually use it a bit later on for speckling. Just do your speckling, you can use it, or as I'm doing here, a ping wash. And then I'll do different coloured ones. This is a slightly lighter one. Again, while it's wet, I'll just mix the two together. Okay, so just keep working it in. So just don't get too mad. But these products I'm using here as well, I should do the engine exactly the same. Ping wash it with the oil, with the engine, the fuel, and then do a bit of streaking out of it. Right, now this is the actual what's the name I'm going to do now, the speckling. I'll just put it on your brush, load it. There's no need to get the excess off. Have a bit of a practice first, make sure you got the speckling right, and then just flick it, and it's another nice effect. Well, you can use whatever colour you want. You don't have to use the fuel. This one here, you'll see this one stands out really well when you've done this. Where you can see, look, you can see it flicking on. Okay, it's a really, really nice effect. You couldn't get that effect with a sponge. So I'm still doing the same 2 colours. And then if you put too much on before it dries, just get yourself a brush, a bit of thinners on it, and just take them off. There's a couple there that have gone a bit too thick, so I should cut them off, take them off. This is all. This is bit of pigment. Now the actual wash and that is still a bit wet, so I'll just gently rub the pigment into it and it'll just help it stick. Well, all this is for is just get another dirty look, like when the engine covers are open, you'll probably get dirt falling there and stuff like that. So that's all that is. But when it dries, it looks really effective. Okay. So this I'm showing you now, this is totally finished now, the inside. It's all been done with the steps I've showed you. So that's update 11 done. In the next update I'll show you, then it'll be totally finished, finishing the construction of the outside, but the inside's finished. So again, big thank you, really appreciate your comments, and I'll catch you in the next update.